Hello everyone, welcome back to Ultimate TV. It's Bobby Serval here and we've got a cracker of a show today. Today I'll be actually interviewing our good friend Michael Worthington, the owner of 101 Media Group, and he'll be talking to us all about how you can succeed with YouTube in your business. So stay tuned right after the break and we will talk more about that now. Very good. Once
Excellent.
again, we always have Michael in and we're usually talking about different stuff, but I've never spoken to Michael, to you, I should say, to you about your business and your life. I mean, we chat off air all the time and you could write a novel or multiple novels of your stories and how you've done in business. So
I've actually written one book. It's being edited at the moment.
Can't wait to read that one there. That's a good nighttime reading.
Of course, I've changed the names and the places to protect the guilty.
You got to.
Yeah,
in this day and age, with everyone being politically correct, you have to.
Oh, goodness me, drives you nuts. Yeah, just say what you think. Too bad. Anyway.
Now, Michael, we've been working together for about 2 years or so.
Yeah.
And it's been fantastic. We've seen our YouTube channel grow significantly in viewers, in views, as well as helping our other social media platforms with our following there.
Yeah.
But YouTube wasn't what you always did, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. No, I came out of the military and they no one did employ me. Carrying heavy backpacks wasn't a thing. Another was shooting people, but actually there's one person now, I shouldn't say that. And so I looked at doing lawn mowing rounds, but I'm not much of a gardener. I think I would have killed more lawns than that. So I thought, well, cleaning rounds are pretty good. So we just started building them up, but doing the same philosophy, build the round up, sell the round. That's how we got into buying and selling, or building and selling businesses. Then we had a book publishing, we had a computer business. We did the same thing, built them up and sold them. We had a construction company, built that up, franchised that. So we had to go up franchising, which was pretty cool. And then we sold that. Went into a couple other businesses, had a few people try and take advantage.
So we hear that all the time, unfortunately.
Yeah. So that was a bit of a struggle, but learnt a lot along the way. And I think a lot of things that I learned about millionaire mindsets and things like that is just because something bad is happening in your life doesn't mean it has to rule your whole life. Just put it in its little box, let that run its course and deal with it, and get on with something else. And something else for me, because I've been in marketing, was to get into marketing, get into online marketing, which seemed like the new future. And that was like 3 years ago.
That's fantastic. So that's great advice for everyone. If you're having a bad day, put it beside you and then keep on going. Keep throwing those punches.
Yeah, don't let it dominate your entire day.
So it sounds like you've a serial entrepreneur, if you want to call it that. You haven't stuck to one particular industry. I suppose your industry is building and growing businesses. Would you say would that be correct?
Yeah, I think when people come to me, they come because my industry is marketing. So I look at businesses as purely, here's a product, how do we market it? And I once heard a joke, I think it might have been Dave Allen, and he said, if I could sell all my kids for medical experiments, I'd be rich. And I'm not quite sure how that relates to business, but it does go, a business, unlike children, shouldn't be emotional. To me, it's an investment. So whether I'm investing in property or in shares, I'm not a big risk taker, so blue chip shares for me, or a business. A business to me is an investment. That means that the business for me has got to do two things. One, it's got to pay the bills along the way. So it's got to give me my lifestyle along the way. Pay for the holidays, put the kids through uni, do all that, buy the nice cars, whatever. And then it should have a retirement fund built into it, instead of a lump sum. So I look at two things: grow a business internally, so you're getting the money along the way, but then turn it from a owner-operated business into a managed operated business, because the sale price at the end is a lot more valuable. And I use YouTube to let people know that you've got a really valuable business and it's well worth buying.
Yeah. Very good advice, everyone out there. So before we get on to 101 Media Group and YouTube, so coming out the military, what obviously weren't employable, if you want to call it that, like you said. So all those various businesses have given you X amount of experience and you've learnt a lot of things along the way. So when you go from business 1 to business 2 to business 3 and so forth, how would you say the experiences you've learnt in the prior business excelled the next business and then excelled that again and again and again?
I think you learn rules. And as cliche as that does sound, every business has got rules, and amazingly, they're the same rules. The badge changes.
Yep, I agree with that.
But it's the same rules. And the very first rule you've got to learn in business, and what I've learned, is that it's not about you. If you want to get on there and say how great you are and how great your service is, it'll make mum proud. That's my... you know,
Hi, Mum.
Mum's going, oh, there's my boy. You know, my mum might not be, but sorry, Mum. But that's the only person that's going to make proud. Nobody cares. You know, I went into a lawyer's office. You know, we're ethical. I should damn well hope so. You know, and I kind of going to myself, you had to hang a sign up to tell me you're ethical? What's been going on in here?
Exactly.
You know, the accountant's office, we're good with numbers. One would hope so.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, it's kind of a given. I don't expect you to have to tell me. So a lot of people brag about themselves. And so the rule of the game is, what is it you're going to, what's in it for the other person? Why should they deal with you? Everyone says they've got good service. Everyone says they're going to look after you. Everyone says all these nice cliche things. At the end of the day, it's nuts and bolts. For my clients, it's, Michael, I want to make more, I want to get more clients and make more money. That fills the two criteria of one, paying the bills along the way, and increasing the business value so I can sell it at the end. That's what they're looking for.
And all those other fluffy ancillary stuff come later. The ethical lawyer, I guess the customer service factor, all those other bits and pieces. So as long as you, effectively what you say, I want to get more customers for your clients and to make more money.
Yeah.
That's in any business, that is, exactly the core. And for those customers, leading on to that is to make those sales, how you get those sales, which is, we'll talk about YouTube in a moment, but effectively, what you're telling me is, don't tell them about you, tell them about them. So effectively, what their problems are and how you can solve it.
It's like, if you see Ron Howard and he talks about movies, and he'll say there's only one story. Guess what? There's only one story in business. And the story is, there's a problem, how do you solve it? That's it. Every business has got exactly just one story. We're here to solve, this is the problem we solve, and this is how we do it. That's it. And you get that story, and you've got a really successful business. That's it.
Fantastic.
So when people come to me and they go, this is really complicated, what I tend to find is they are complicating it. And I say this, you know, they say, well, I've got all these systems and all these processes. And I said, look, the first thing is, biggest mistake is niching. Don't niche. You know, everyone goes niching. I went to a niching seminar. There were accountants there, lawyers there, engineers there, plumbers there, you know, backpackers there. The guy doing the niching seminar didn't even niche. You know, come on, let's get a little bit real. It's to do with category, you know, and you have to switch from a niche to a category. You've got to think a little bit broader. Look at some of the biggest companies in the world. You look at Ford, they go, we make cars. They don't say we make convertibles. Yes. They make automobiles to get you around. Well, they actually sell finance. That's really what they're in the business of doing. But you have to be in a category, not a niche. And then if you're in a category like us, we're into business owners. That's our category, business owners. If you're on a business, then you're our client. And then in there you're going, and this is what we do for you. So you either want that or you don't want it. So that is really what you're doing. Once you've got that, when you build your business, you build systems to deliver the experience or the result to that customer. So if you've got something in your business and you look at it and it is not contributing to delivering that result to the customer, get rid of it. It's dead wood. Get rid of it. It might have served its purpose once upon a time, but chop it out and get rid of it. It doesn't belong there anymore.
So I suppose being a little bit controversial here, that could be old computers, old servers, but most controversial, staff.
Old staff.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, the ones that are going, we've always done it this way.
Get rid of them.
We are an innovative company. Oh, I don't like that idea, though. We haven't done that before.
We haven't been innovative before, so.
Yeah. So, and I think that is, there's some of the keys, some of the rules, and then being really, really good. So what you've got to find in business is what has got specific value or got a value to a specific part of the marketplace, and then deliver that in your industry.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Great advice, everyone. So now, Michael, with YouTube, you've gone from a partitioning construction company,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden, you've got a passion for marketing, which effectively is how you've built every single one of your businesses from day dot. So YouTube marketing, tell us a little bit more about why you decided to get into YouTube instead of being a social media marketer such as Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn specialist. So why YouTube?
Okay. So my philosophy or my attitude to business is there's only two things that are important in your business. One is the systems to deliver the result to the client, which we talked about, and the other is the marketing. Everyone on the planet will say know, like, and trust. That's it. Now, most of us on the planet will go that one of the most powerful forms of media is TV. It's TV first, then it's radio, and then it's newspapers. That's how it runs. And you can argue till the cow comes home. I don't really care. That's just how it is. And, you know, facts don't care about your feelings. To quote Ben Shapiro. That's how it is. So once you realize that video is the most powerful form of media, and know, like, and trust, and you realize that what you're trying to do is tell people a story, the story of their problem and how you solve it, and get to know, like, and trust you, then you need a platform to be able to host those videos on. Now, you try and host them on your website, and it gets quite expensive. So the first thing is YouTube is free for hosting. Second thing is you can link all the videos to your website.
Yep.
You can link them to Google+, you can link everything to Facebook and all the rest of the things. But you've got to, if you, all you thought of it was a central hosting platform where people can go to and watch 15, 20, 30 minutes of you, of things that interest them, then that is not a bad platform to look at. And it gets you in the idea that going, people will be bored after 2 minutes. Really? Then the people you're talking to don't have television sets.
That's exactly
Or they only watch commercials. That's not true. People watch 1 hour shows if they interest them. And I think that's the secret of YouTube, and that's where it's all swinging to now, is building TV shows, not talking heads.
Exactly. So I guess I'm a big fan of YouTube, and I follow a lot of various types of channels on YouTube. And I spend more time on the iPad and the phone watching YouTube rather than watching TV. So what you were saying earlier about TV being the number one advertising platform, and then radio, then newspaper, TV is sort of transitioning out because you're saying YouTube's free to host on there. And you get paid from YouTube, which is fantastic. We're not there yet, but come on, subscribers, please. But leading from that, if you look at doing a television ad campaign compared to putting something onto YouTube, the costs are not even comparable because you're spending $10,000+ for a 30-second time slot.
So we're
compared to a 30-minute for free.
Well, we're in 2019. We're in Perth, West Australia. Sunday Times is a big paper. You want to put a full-page ad, it's $3,000.
Yep.
Well, I'm telling not just YouTube. You go to any social media marketing person and say, "I'll give you $3,000 every week to promote my business online," and they'll be jumping up and down, doing backflips and kittens, and go, "We'll make you the most famous person on the planet." You know, that's the reality of it. The cost factors are very, very low. Yeah, so it is a very, very cost-effective medium. The struggle point is the content creation, and that's where we come in. Even for the social media guys, you know, they go, well, let's have a state post, let's do a quote, let's do a 2-second video clip. That is good on certain medias, but you need something a little bit more substantial, and that's where we come in.
And we've had that experience as well. Various social media companies we've utilised in the past just haven't hit the nail on the head because, they're great. Okay, this is what we do, the post to engage these type of people, but they're not the ones that understand, business understand. Well, they may understand business, but not understand accounting and the type of clientele we want to get. Hence why we've come to see you so we can express our content to multiple thousands of viewers at a time.
So YouTube does two things. One, I always say, if you're already in business, it's a great way to promote your business. It's a great way to help build the know, like, and trust factor for your original business.
Credibility, is that right?
Yeah. And then if you want to take it to the next level and actually make it a business, then you can. you know, and that is the switch point where everyone talks about residual income, they talk about side hustles. You can just be allowing time, not time in, but just time, not timing, sorry, but time in YouTube will eventually get you to a place where this thing will pay you a residual income for the rest of your life. And it's like, that's pretty cool.
Definitely is.
Yeah.
And that's what we're all hoping in business, to not just work 9, 10 hours, 12 hours a day for your money, is to work less and earn the same capacity of money. So that's what we advise people, and you help advise us to grow our business and have that sort of ancillary income coming through.
And I think that's one of the things, you know, people go, well, you're a videographer. Well, yeah, we're more cinematographers, but we're more business consultants. That's really what we are. YouTube just happens to be the tool. So when our clients come in, we actually talk business. We actually talk strategy.
Yes.
And we talk boardroom level. So, and this is the difference. People say, so what's the difference between a consultant who's talking boardroom level and, say, a business coach? Okay, so generally speaking, there are a couple of exceptions to the rule, as there always are. And I know a couple of exceptions to this coaching rule that are absolutely brilliant. Most coaches come in and will grow your business organically within, and you're still working in it. Yep. You're still the boss, you're still an owner-operator. So let's say they grow that business to be worth $200,000 profit. In today's market, you'll probably get 2 times in a sale because you're an owner-operator. So that gives you a $400,000 sale price when I'm talking retirement stuff now. If you do vertical integration, which is what management consulting is all about, is taking you to a managed operator business where you decide how much time you spend in, but you have the ideas and you have other people implement them. That's really what we're talking about here. That business is worth 5 times. Exactly. So it's a $200,000 profit. It's now it's 5 times 200,000. That's $1 million as compared to 400,000. And stats will show you that a managed operator business normally operates at about 30% extra profit than an owner-operator business. So now instead of being 200,000, it's actually 300,000. 5 times 300,000, guys, is, I know I'm talking fast, is 1.5 million. Yeah. And you go, he knows his numbers. Yes, I do, because I do this all the time. That is just the reality of it. So that's why you can do a coach to get yourself up and running, but you use a management consultancy arm, which is what we are, because we know we need to do 2 things for you. Get your systems in place and get your marketing. We happen to do both.
Yeah. So for us, for example, we work very complementary together. We provide business advice. You give us and our clients business advice as well. But let's say for someone in a different type of industry, let's say a mechanic or an electrician or something like that, how are they able to use YouTube to grow their business or to get more following or to build that ancillary income?
Okay, so, and this is where people get stuck in the niching. They go, I'm a mechanic. And I go, so who do you serve? I serve people. Right, so what type of vehicles do you service? You know, what type of interests are around? Are you dealing with 4-wheel drives? Yes. Do any of your clients have caravans? Yeah. Do you provide any camping advice? Do you put a camping magazine in the 4-wheel drive after you've serviced it? If you've got mums at local schools, have you tailored yourself to go, look, these are some of the outside activities for children after school. Here's some of the school holiday activities coming up. You know, what are you doing in your category? May be your neighbourhood. Your category may be, look, I specialise 4-wheel drives. Your category may be, look, I have tradie Tuesdays. I can guarantee the tradie can bring his car in, have a coffee that I've done with a coffee shop across the road, service his vehicle within this time frame, not leave it off at 7 and pick it up at 5 and I'll fit it in whenever I get around to it. You know, just get a little bit more structured, guys. What's your category? Once you go, and then if your category is tradespeople, what do they want? What do they need to know?
That's right.
Well, they need to know about tools of trade. They need to know about workers' compensation. They need to know about insurance factors. You're more than a mechanic. You're the knowledge hub. You can talk about insurance on their vehicles. You know, you can talk about new mums coming in and realise that, gee, I deal with a lot of new mums because of the area I'm in. Maybe I should be researching the best child seats. Maybe I should be researching, you know, some of the new road rules. Maybe I should be researching the child-friendly parks and the kindergartens and the schools and providing that information when people go, no, they know everything. So you can really spin it out. And I guess what you become is the educator. You can teach people on YouTube how to check the tyres, how to check the water, how to check the oil. because they're three things cars need.
Yep.
Last time I looked, well, electric's coming in, so it'll be a little bit different then. What are you educating them on? How are you educating them on how to reverse a car? Are you educating them on how to the best tow hitches for certain vehicles? So they go, well, I haven't got that vehicle, but since you know about tow hitches, maybe I'll come in and talk to you about what's the best one for my car.
For sure.
Yeah.
So effectively, not just in business, but how to get portray more, I guess, communication to a worldwide. Well, YouTube is worldwide. A worldwide audience. You say to actually be an expert in a various field. So if you have a passion if you're a mechanic out there with a passion for forward driving, make that your passion within the business as well. And exactly, I like what you said is, okay, I'm a forward drive enthusiast. What do I sell in my mechanic shop?
Correct.
You know, I sell tyres, I sell this. Well, what about the, camper, the camper trailers, the awnings, the outdoor showers, all that type of stuff? Why couldn't you put that as a retail arm in your business and be the expert for people to come to you? That's a fantastic idea, Michael.
Or, you know, if you're a mechanic and you're running your show, go down to the caravan park and interview the people, or invite them in on your show and interview someone who sells caravans, interview someone who sells camping gear, interview people who own caravan parks and camping parks. You know, if you've got people with bicycles, you know, you realize a lot of cycle paths around, and that's your passion. Talk to the bicycle shop, find out the best bikes. You can talk about so much. Mechanic is just the tool. But to open it up on YouTube and to get people to know, like, and trust you. And I always say it runs two things. One is to give real value, but then is to let them in on you as a person.
For sure.
So if your passion's fishing, if your passion's forward driving, if your passion's camping, if your passion's knitting and crocheting, tell them.
Exactly. Well, we had a new customer come in the other day who had a meeting with another accounting firm, and he just liked the vibe with us because he said, Bobby, after the end of the meeting, he said, yeah, I'm going to come with you guys because as soon as you came down, you didn't really want to talk business. You wanted to know who I am. You wanted to know who my family is. You want to know where I've come from and all that stuff. Whereas the other firm was just, okay, this is the package we want to put you on, business, business, business. And, you know, people out there, the viewers of us, know that I'm definitely not like that. And I think it's really genuine. Genuinity, is that a word? We can make it a word. That's what people are looking for getting service. Whether it's a mechanic, whether it's an electrician, whether it's an accountant, whether it's the clothing shop down the road, whether it's the bakery, people want great customer service and for you to be genuine. So I think that's a good take-home point for today.
Yeah. And, you know, when they go on YouTube, some of the hard facts about YouTube, which is probably different than social media, is tags and keywords are very little to do with being found in relation to the actual picture or the thumbnail. When you type into YouTube something, the picture comes up first. And we have found that the trend is to have no text on a photograph, or very little text, very little. You know, you could have a background picture, put some text in, put you over the top of the text, so it's kind of half hidden behind you. Think of it as more cinematic, the picture, to really catch your attention. And then the headline, just make it 5 words. And be honest, don't use bait and switch. You know, don't tell them you're going to talk about Pope John Paul II or whatever, and then you're actually a car mechanic. You know, they probably get a little bit annoyed and won't do anything. And then in your description, when you actually load a video up, realize that the first 2 lines that you actually type in that description is the 2 lines that they'll actually see when they're in the search column. So don't fill it with waffle.
For sure.
Don't start saying, hi, I'm Michael, and I had a really good, interesting interview today, blah, 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 because by the time you've written all that blah, 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 you've not told anybody anything. You're better off starting 3 top tips for getting more views on YouTube. Start off with the actual what you're going to talk about. Think of it like a magazine. So when you go to a magazine in the shop, copy them. There's the photograph that they've spent millions researching. There's the headline that they've spent another wad of money researching. And look at the subheadline. That's how you structure your YouTube. Thumbnail, headline, first 2 lines your description, structure it that way. Not only then you get find your clickability and your shareability will go up.
That's fantastic advice. So what we got from you about YouTube is be a genuine. Don't clickbait. And make sure your descriptions are pretty much on point rather than the waffle, because like you said, you have to click that see now more button, is it, or find out more, and 9 times out of 10 people won't do that. So, so I suppose that's something. So what are the biggest mistakes you've seen people that you currently watch on YouTube or that you advised against or taken them out of that way of doing things on YouTube. What were the biggest mistakes that you've seen other people doing on YouTube and how you fix them?
All right, so I can do that, and I can also talk about my own mistakes.
Oh, perfect.
So,
we love that.
Yeah, so when I first started, I used to love my intro video. Mum was very proud of it. No one's interested, guys.
But we did an intro video just now. Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
no.
We'll cut that one out.
No, I mean the little slideshow video.
Oh, the slideshows.
Yeah, so
okay.
we put a little slideshow in there, and the biggest mistake, we put that first. No one's interested. So what you want to do is capture it. You've got very, very short time. Look at a TV show. It never does that. It goes, on today's show is this, and then we'll play their little music and their little thing.
Yep.
So that was a mistake we were doing. We're putting that first. I switched that around. We went from, I think, 3,000 subscribers up to 13,000 subscribers. But just after one switch. So that was one of the things we switched. Making sure you tell them exactly what this video is going to be. Make sure they understand it is great value. And do something personal in the first. And look, we all struggle with this because it is quite difficult to do. And it's a bit of practice, but you see some of the good guys that go, I'm going to give you my 3 top ways of taking B-roll footage when I film. And by the way, happy Father's Day to all the fathers. I'm a father myself. It's going to be a good one. And they go into the music.
Yep.
That's a really magic formula. Difficult to get done, but that's what you're constantly trying to go for. Then the music. Then when you come back after the music, repeat the first.
Of course.
Repeat what you said the first time and then get into your show.
Because you've got the intro, give the little snippets, repeat half the snippet, and then onto the main show.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And then what you're trying to do on a show is to go, if this is, no matter what the show is, break it up into parts. So if it's 6 parts, if it's 3 parts. So on a 30-minute show, for instance, you would go, well, I've got 3-minute segments, I'll make each segment, so I need 10 of them.
Yeah, cool.
Or I make them 5-minute segments, and I need, you're the mathematician.
Yeah. I'm a bit sleepy at the moment, so we'll do the numbers another time.
Yeah, but you get trying to break your show up. And remember that your show is exactly like your business. Has a problem and you're solving it. Here's a person who's solved a problem. That's the story. It doesn't matter whether you're in your business, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is. If you can get your formula that my show is all about a certain problem, and people go, I got that problem too, me too, and this is how I'm going to show you how to solve it, and I actually solve it, that's a good formula. That's a winning formula.
It's pretty much what you were talking about Ron Howard before with his directing in the movies.
Yep.
It's how a script reads. It's intro, problem, solution, end.
Yep.
Not necessarily to that exact extent, but it's...
No, it is.
It is. Well, there you go, it is. Yeah, I'm a director now.
They will basically go, and you watch this. So we'll set the scene. Indiana Jones, he's in the university packing his whip. I don't know why he's got a whip for, but anyway.
We don't know yet, anyway.
No, we don't know yet. But here he is. They set the scene. They introduce the characters. Now, characters you introduce as you go through, but basically this is how they do it. Then he begins his journey. Yeah, Indiana Jones begins his journey. Now he's got problems to overcome. Now, in an interview like this, we're probably going to cover 2 or 3 problems. In a movie, they'll probably do 5 or 6 problems. You know, the cannonball racing down that hill, trying to squash him and that. And what's he doing? He's overcoming challenges all the way. And then his ultimate goal that he solves, that's the big takeaway. And then it's what's next. So for Spielberg, it's the sequel.
Yes. Yep.
That's the formula. But if you look at the core elements, as Ron Howard would say, it's still a problem, getting a guy with a problem or a girl with a problem, solving it. That's the story. They just break it down like that, and that's how every single movie script runs.
Perfect. So we've got YouTube, we've got movie scripts. So now, for all our viewers out there and for people wanting to come and speak to you to either start their YouTube channel or tweak it different ways and help grow their business even further, and also get some great consulting from Michael, how can they contact you at 101 Media Group?
Okay, so they can write to us at admin@101mediagroup.com.au. And yeah, when you come, it is strategy, and because that's one way, and get so all the strategies to implement the service to your clients. And then we use the YouTube and the videos as your medium for your marketing, which can be then multi-purpose. We pull the audios off podcasts, which are very popular. We play you on our radio station, which runs 24/7. And then you can multi-purpose snippets of all your videos to go on your other social media platforms like your your LinkedIn, your Pinterest, your Instagrams, and all the rest of it.
Which I think is fantastic. So everyone out there, if you're looking to grow your YouTube channel, to integrate it with your business, get some great consulting and strategic advice, I highly recommend seeing Michael at 101 Media Group. Michael, thank you very much for a fantastic interview today. I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to spending a lot more time using you as a consultant and strategy advisor as well.
Fantastic. Thanks, Bobby.
Michael. Take care. And thank you everyone for watching. Stay tuned for next time, and I look forward to seeing you all then.